1900s to 1970s, we had 150 shrimp boats docked, 3 to 5 boats deep along these docks to our right. We had 7 shrimp processing plants, 2 crab plants, and an oyster plant between where you get on the boat today and the blue building here on our right. Today, that blue building is the last surviving shrimp processing plant in the area, and we're down to about 6 active local shrimpers because of the influence of farm-raised shrimp, imported farm-raised shrimp, put these guys out of business. Coming up on our right is our model Port Fernandina, and this red ship just came in from this afternoon from Bermuda. It is a lifeline for Bermuda. Anything and everything needed at Bermuda comes out of this port on that ship. It takes them 4 days to get from here to Bermuda. They need to offload full containers, another day to reload empty containers, and 4 days back. So they're in here about twice a month. Now the big orange cranes on the dock were donated to us from the port of Wilmington, Delaware about 5 years ago, but somebody didn't bother to measure them before they brought them down here because the wheelbase of the cranes did not fit the wheelbase of the railroad system on the dock up here. So it took about $5.5 million per crane to refit them, make sure they work. And these are what load and unload the cargo container you see on the bow of the Summers Isle up here. They can roll that crane up and down the dock wherever they need it. They lower the boom on the left side, down horizontal. The driver sits in a little glass cab up there above the apparatus that grabs a hold of the cargo containers. It looks right down between his feet, places those containers right wherever he needs them in the ship or on the deck. Now when they fill the hold of the ship, they'll close the hatches like you see on the Summers Isle here and stack the containers on the deck. And sometimes on this container ship, they'll stack them 3 or 4 high. On the super ships, they'll stack them 10 or 15 containers high. When they're out at sea, there's always a chance that one of those containers will get washed overboard, which actually happens a lot more than you might think. About 35,000 shipping containers a year lost worldwide in the ocean off of ships. When that happens, they don't try to retrieve it. It's too dangerous and time-consuming for the crew. They have something called the Navy or the Air Force, and they come out and use them for target practice, and they sink them as they're hazard navigation. They float about a foot to the surface of the water, and they're nuclear buoyant. Up here beyond the cranes is our local paper mill, today called West Rock. 2 years ago, it was called Rock 10. Prior to that, it was called Smurfit Stone. Prior to that, it was Craft Container Corporation. But I find all those names a bit ironic because West Rock, Rock 10, Smurfit Stone, they can be complicated. You can see out here right about 2 o'clock. Rolls of paper getting all wet now. That black cap on right there. That's craft paper. Goes in the shopping bags and cardboard boxes. Those rolls are 8 feet tall, 6 foot diameter, weigh about 6,000 pounds apiece. About 4 miles of paper on each roll. That's what goes in the cardboard boxes and paper bags. Both the mills on the island use Southern Yellow Pine as their natural resource. It is a hot hybrid. It's red and real tall and faster. Never real thick. They harvest on the average better 15 years. Every tree they harvest, they make transform their place. So they're not included in their natural resources. There's no alternative to install its own electricity. It's coal-powered steam generators. They bring in coal by rail from West Virginia. It's stored in the big gray silos until it's needed. But if we lose power here on the island, they're the emergency backup for hospital emergency services. Now this is clean coal technology, folks. The biggest stack out here, the black top one, was capped off decades ago. And all you see coming in out of the other stacks is pure steam. We'll bring about 300 to 500 logging trucks a day onto the island to feed these 2 mills. Most of it comes in log 4. They'll put it through a barker and take the bark off, and they send it to a grinder. Put it in these big 3-week bins here, grind them up until they're small enough. Then they transfer them to a big pressure cooker. Add a large amount of water, a small amount of chemical, and then sludge. It is then placed through a series of rollers, presses, and heaters, and that's what creates that heavy craft paper for the shopping bag and cardboard boxes. Line welded properly with water from our aquifer, and we use 5 or 6 times after it goes through the steam generators. Once they're done with it, they filter it and cool it down to the midnight degree temperature range. The company here will see this big pipe up ahead, which may look like a white pipe, but it's actually black. The white is actually bird poop. That's the nastiest smelling thing on the island. It's worse than the metal itself. Now the largest wood chip pile up here on our right was just added about 5 years ago strictly to keep up with demand from the Amazon. You have the Amazon Prime, you know, you sneeze on your phone, the next day you got 6 boxes on your front porch. This pipe we call the manatee jacuzzi because in the spring and fall the water trips about 20 degrees cooler than it is today. The manatees in their migration often congregate around the end of this pipe to warm the body temperatures and get a drink of fresh water. Manatees live to be about 60 years old, casting with the mother up to 3 years. They consume hundreds of pounds of vegetation daily, and they get about 2,500 pounds. lived in the manatee is the elephant. And if you look at the end of the manatee's flippers, you'll see they have toenails, look just like toenails in elephant's feet. All around this region of the country, you'll see light patches on shore, like you see up ahead of here to the right. And for the most part, these are non-sandy beaches. They're all oyster shells that we call shell middens. These were dropped here for thousands of years before Europeans arrived here by the local Native American tribe. Look for more hunter-gatherers, primarily oyster eaters. Obviously, there was no refrigeration back then, so they would simply come down the shoreline, harvest the oysters, eat them on site, and drop the shells into these big piles. And you may find areas in this region of the country that are 10 or 20 feet deep in oyster shells. Now, we see the houses on the bluff coming up ahead of the right is the original site of Fernandina, and this was the entire town of Fernandina from 1562 up until 1853. 1562, the French Huguenots, where the French Europeans arrived here about 3 years ahead of the Spanish down there in St. Augustine, so don't let them tell you that they're the oldest city in the country. We were actually established 3 years ahead of them, and we were burnt down twice, so we cannot claim continuous occupancy the way they came. Anyway, back then the French averaged about 5 foot tall compared to the Timucun, who are 6 foot or better. The Timucuns grease their hair and a crown on top of their head to make them look even taller, and they were tattooed from head to toe.